everybody, it's Alara. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch for the most part. I'm throwing some other stuff in every once in a while. If you're new, thanks so much for stopping by. Feel free to take a look around and stay if you like. To my subscribers who have come back, thank you so much for joining me. I'm twirling in my chair already. Huge thank you to everyone for the love. The outpouring of love from my last video has been pretty emotional for me in a really good way. I was really not expecting the response that I got. I don't really know what I was expecting, to be honest. I just, you know, do what I do and I'm me. And the amount of people that shared part of their story with me through that was very, thank you, because that meant a lot to me. I felt so alone for that week that I was going through everything that I was going through. And I mean, I know, you know in your head that literally millions of other women go through this. But while it's still just you when it's happening to you, if that makes sense. And to know that words are kind of hard when it comes to stuff like this, guys. I'm sorry. But just know that I appreciated how much you shared with me, as much as I appreciated being able to share with you. After I shared that video and started getting responses back, that anxiety that I had been feeling post stress really was much alleviated. So thank you for being there for me as much of a community as we have. It just blows my mind every time I post a video that so many of us can touch each other and be there for each other, and we're nowhere physically close to each other. So again, there's no words. Thank you doesn't do it justice for how you all made me feel. So yeah, it's not a month. I really wanted to come back on and go ahead and share where I've been the last, I don't know, however many days. I forgot to look. I don't even know what day it is. It's Tuesday. Well, technically it's Wednesday now. April somethingeth, 2022. So as per normal, I'm kind of scatterbrained. I do have notes, but I look at the notes and I see the words and they just look like Greek, because that's how it is for me to record. Also, I have a thank you for a shout out that actually just happened today. She did the little @ thing, so I knew when her video went up. She's been on my list of folks to watch. My list is very long and my time is not as prevalent as I would like it to be able to sit and watch Flosstube. But DMsCraftyVortex, I believe she said her name was Dawn Marie at the beginning of her video. It was a little, the intro music kind of overlapped her when she said her name, and I have a hard time with sounds when they mix like that. So, but thank you for the shout out. It was so sweet what she said. And you're very welcome for the help. It's not a problem at all. My pleasure to be able to do that. So thank you for the shout out. I very much appreciate it. I would also like to go ahead and share a couple of people that I have been watching. Again, as I said before, I do like to start at the beginning of somebody's channel and watch all the way through. And I try not to break it up too much. I try to just do a couple of people at a time so that I can keep their story in my head going. I just feel like I get to know them a little bit better even though we don't know each other. So I have been watching Casey Stitches. That's Casey. I'll make sure to link everybody below as well. Stitches. She has, it's kind of a nice change of pace if you don't want to watch an hour-long video like I tend to put out. She has a shorter, usually about 15 to 25 minutes of videos. She seems a little bit shy, but I really love her progress, her cross stitches. She does a lot of full coverage, and I don't know how often she's going to be posting this year. She is, if she hasn't already, she is due to have her first baby any second now, if it hasn't already happened. So congratulations, Casey, if you ever see this. So excited when you announced your engagement and your pregnancy and your upcoming, you know, so it was so exciting. I was very excited with you. So go check her out, give her some support while she's recouping and learning how to navigate stitching with a tiny baby. I've also been watching Jamie over at Cross Stitch and Chill. She is, wow, she does a lot of full coverage as well. I've been very much enjoying her progress on all her stuff. She just put out her most recent video, I think a day or so ago. I'm sorry, I don't do details very well. It's in my head, but then I try to put it into words and it doesn't come out very well. But I've really been enjoying her channel too. So Jamie over Cross Stitch and Chill, she definitely, she doesn't need my help. She had 1,000 subscribers already, but that's so awesome and I'm so excited for her. So congratulations on that milestone, Jamie. Okay, so those are my shout outs for today. Let's start with progress. Part of the reason why I didn't want to do, well, it's kind of an odd day to put this video out. It might hit 2 weeks by the time I get it edited and up. But we're getting ready to go out of town for a business camping trip. And that's going to cross over into the start of Mania. And I kind of wanted to have that as a break, a point of break for my videos, because I think I want to try and get another Flosstube recorded halfway through, because this is going to be kind of, stuff's going to be all mixed together today. Because my plan for Mania is to start all of my kits that I have. Embroidery, cross stitch, if it's kit, I want it started. Obviously, I'm not going to get much progress on any of them, but that means that from May 1st to May 14th, I'm going to have 14 projects. I may even try and record once a week. We'll see. My schedule's a little crazy, so sometimes it just doesn't happen. But that's what I'd like to do. So yeah, so I'm actually going to have to start, I have to I'm going to need to take a couple of kits with me because we're going to be out of town until next Tuesday, which will be the 2nd. I may even cheat a little and start the kits a day or 2 early because I don't know how much time on the 1st and 2nd, maybe even the 3rd, I'm actually going to have to stitch. And I want to start 1 a day. So, okay, so all that to say, I wanted to come on here without a bajillion and one projects to show you. So no particular order, my first project that I'm going to show you is Veil Nebula. It's a NASA photo charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the mock-up of what it will look like when it's finished. And since I showed you last, I have gotten all of 500 stitches in. I only worked on this twice. I worked on this once for the 100th day of the year. I pulled out some projects to work on for 1 hour because I was gonna, or no, for 100 stitches. I wanted to put at least 100 stitches, and if I hit 100 stitches and still had thread left, I just finished off the thread. But I did that for like 9 projects, and this was one of them. I wasn't gonna show you those because 100 stitches really doesn't look like much on full coverage pieces, especially. And then I worked on it again the other day for a total of 500. And this is where, here. This is where I am so far, and as you can see from the last time, it's just a bunch more black. black, 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 black. I bought the giant cone of DMC 310 to work on this project. I will make about a third of a dent, a third of, words. The cone will have about a third of it gone by the time I'm done with this because it's the really ginormous. I'm gonna block my face even though you can't see it. I don't know why I hold these up for so long. That is now a total of 5,300 stitches, 0.80%, because it is a supersize max color version. This chart was gifted to me by my friend Stephanie over at SEWGlover Creations. Thank you for that, Stephanie. She gifted that to me after I had mentioned that I requested the supersize max color of that chart. Okay, next up I actually have two new starts to show you this time. So my first new start is, I want to try and not edit as much as possible, so I'm showing you guys the cover photos here. The New Normal by Long Dog Samplers. I actually woke up with a cold this morning, so my throat's a little raw and my nose is doing that drippy thing and cloggy thing. I have to tell you a little bit before I show you where I'm at on this so far. Part of, and this is again why I have to, it's all mixed up today. I feel kind of bad because I actually ended up getting some stitchy kindness after my last video. You guys, that was not the point of that video. Please don't ever feel like you should send me something or I appreciate it so much, but it's definitely not something that will ever be required of my channel. But Dawn, I'm not sure if she's okay with me saying her last name, so I'm not going to, but my friend Dawn, she has been a subscriber of my channel from very, very early, if not, one of the first subscribers. And when I was talking about the New Normal and my struggles with the thread that I had picked out to go on the fabric that I got from BeStitch Me, she reached out to me and said, hey, I might have some blue silk that would work. She sent me some pictures and said, pick one out that you think would look good. And I did. And she sent me that and so much more. Dawn, thank you, because I mean, I feel so spoiled, seriously, because she sent me, it's way over there, hang on. In this bag, she sent me, this is the one that I picked out. She's attached a note with it to it. I'm not going to read the note. It was very sweet. But this is the blue silk that she sent me that I had picked out. And it goes really well with my flosses that I picked out. Look at this. But I still wasn't happy with how it looked on the fabric. Something just wasn't quite right. And luckily for me, Dawn, I don't know if you knew just instinctively or you could see, she sent me a crap ton more floss that's going to go a lot better with the fabric. So she ended up sending me, this is Mauve silk. Inside, I'm not sure the color. The ink bled a little bit when it got written on. But this beautiful blue silk. And boy, let me tell you guys, oh, silk. If you haven't had a chance to work with it, spoil yourself sometime, because look, I could just pet this all day. It is like, it's magic going through fabric. It's just so soft. So that, she sent me Stardust. And this is not like, these are not tiny skeins, you guys. This is also from BeStitch Me, which is just absolutely gorgeous. It looks like my logo, guys. I have to show you. Okay, this is my logo. Look at the silk. How perfect is that? Ah, I love it. And then she sent me Iris from BeStitch Me as well. And lo and behold, you guys, look at this. How gorgeous are these? Now, I had decided that this is blue slate that I had gotten. And then to go together, and then I'll explain this one as well. But I decided that these were definitely, this was it. This is what it was going to go because what is happening with this fabric? Okay, I don't want to show you my whole start yet. So this is Gaia. This is a 36 count linen. This is also by BeStitch Me. Words are going to be hard today, guys. And look how perfect. And it kind of looks like this blue is going to blend in. It's not. It's really not that close to the fabric color as well. And I'm actually going to go ahead and throw this one in as well, moderately, minorly, because there's actually some water scenes in the bottom here. So I want to incorporate that because it's such a beautiful ocean blue. Sorry, my hair's in my eye. That I want to incorporate that in the bottom. So now I'll show you what I've gotten done so far. I decided I wanted to go ahead and do the whole border and just get it out of the way. And I'm really glad I did because now this is the first time I've ever bought from Brandy over at BeStitch Me. And please don't take this as any sort of like I'm slamming her or anything. I'm not. But that happened. So I started off, I should have gotten a bigger piece of fabric because the border is going to go all the way over to like 2 inches out here. So I put 2 inches in, it's going to go 2 inches from the edge here. But I was losing margin as I went down. And I was really, really happy when I did not run out as I got to the bottom. So that's that'll be the whole top bottom. So unfortunately the fabric was cut crooked. This by no means I will, I'm not saying I'll never buy from her again. I will just be much more cautious and cognizant of how much fabric I need and make sure I have plenty of border. Because I understand that linen with the small count, it's going to be kind of hard to line up well. And if I had run out, I probably would have messaged her and see about getting a fresh piece because I really, really wanted to stitch new normal on this piece of fabric. But since I think I can make it work, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to stress about it because I know how she's so busy. And that if I can make it work, I'm not gonna bother her with that. So the whole outer border I'm gonna do in my blue slate, which was this color. And then y'all, I'm making the rest of it up as I go. It'll be what I feel like stitching as far as how the colors go. So it'll be a surprise. I have no real plan other than the water and the border as far as what color is going to go where. So there's that. I got all of those. That 2-stitch border equaled 1,124 stitches. That tiny little border. It took me a while. And that's already at 3.01%. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about how fast that's gonna grow. Okay, next I worked on Dark Queen of the Sea. Now this was a stitch along started last year or like the fall of the year before. So 2020, I through 2021, I think. Till I know it ended in September. Anyways, I'm sure you guys, if you have seen this, I don't have a cover photo. But that's where I was and am now. So I worked on her hair. And if you follow me on Instagram, I had posted a picture with part of this filled in. And after I posted it, I kept looking at it going, that just, something doesn't look right. What is going on? What is wrong? And I realized that on the pattern, I bought the extra hair pack because I wanted to do it's a blue purple ombre color. You can see some of the blues are starting to come in here. But I had read the purple ombre chart and put a wrong color in. So I had to frog that. It was like 100 stitches. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. So I frogged it, fixed it, and I'm really happy with how her hair is looking. There's some holes here left for where the beading's gonna go, and there's no stitching here in her chest. I'm sorry, I'm not taking her out of the hoop. I'll show you more as once I get a whole part finished, I'll take her out and show you. But I did 1,300 stitches on her. I have no idea what percentage that is. I just keep track of how many I've done on her. So, loving how she's looking. And then I had a second new start. Because apparently my brain decided I needed a break from full coverage, so I started to not full coverage. Now this next one, I forgot to grab. 2 seconds, it's right over there. Okay, this next one is called Scenes of Spring. I'm not sure. I know the designer is Sandra Sullivan. And it says Country Spirits Collection. I guess that's probably like her set of designs. I'm not real familiar with samplers, guys. And I think the company that put the pattern out is Homespun Elegance. Let me take it out. But Scenes of Spring. And I don't know about you all, but that to me does not speak spring as far as the colors go. I love the design. I think it's super cute. And I love the wording. I'm not usually a letter stitcher. I did the one when I was 11, and that's the only alphabet I've ever done since. But yeah, I love the design. I just did not like the colors that she did. So, which I understand that, you know, it's like an antique-y thing with samplers. But and I picked this up at the retreat that I went to in Stitching in the Springs last fall. And while I was there, I found fabric and floss that like smacked me in the face and said, this belongs on this pattern. So I got the hostess of that retreat. Her name is Kat. I can't remember her last name off the top of my head right now. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna try because I can't remember. But she has a company called Valkyrie Stitchworks, and she had some pieces there, and I picked up the Elsa, and then her friend owns Live and Die LA. I'll put it here on the screen because I can't remember and I didn't grab the threads. But this was a skein of floss from them. This was a skein. This was a skein. Now, I don't have enough colors from them to do the whole piece. But guys, oh, I love these colors. Now, these, to me, say spring. Lots of color. The blue skies are finally coming out. You know, all the animals are starting to really move around. Oh, that reminds me. I was looking at the needle minder from Black Needle Society. Pause. Rewind. While I might as well just go ahead and finish what I was wanting to show from Dawn. So not only did Dawn give me all of those silks, she sent these beautiful scissors that I am really enjoying using. I was actually kind of nervous about how big they are, but I really like them. And actually, there is a similar, like the rainbow iridescent coating with a unicorn shape that were this big, and I hesitated picking them up because they were so big, so that might actually go on my wish list now for the unicorns. And I'm gonna start collecting scissors, apparently. And then she also sent me this awesome needle minder, Dragon Eye. So he's been living on New Normal, is what I've been using that one on. So again, thank you, Don. So, yep, anyways, I have not fully kitted this. I'm still making this one up as I go along. I have the yellow that's going to be in the beehive here, and I have the blue. I'm actually going to use this blue in the birdies. There's a couple of birds in here. But the flowers, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing for the colors yet on the flowers. I have some variegated floss in my stash that I'm going to dig through and see if any of those work. And then if not, I'll probably just pull some nice spray DMC colors from my stash. So I did this many stitches. I did not count on those. I just stitched. I could not put that down. I know there's probably a couple thousand maybe in there of stitches, because I did a whole evening plus 2 smaller sessions on that one. Excuse me, I gotta, throat's killing me, y'all. Okay, next, now I had talked about this one in my last video of how I had managed to get a whole lot of stitching done on him because I was so stressed. That's all I could do. That's all I could focus on was just putting the needle in the fabric. And I think I did something like 17,000 stitches last month between recordings, and it was like 17 days worth. I'm not as focused, which is not a bad thing. I still have a semi-goal for this one. This is Boudreau. And let me get the mock-up pulled up on that one. Oops, wrong button. Nope, still the wrong button. Hang on, guys. I will get it together. Oh my god. Why? Can I not view a mock-up? Oh, just kidding. I can't view. This was created in pixel-stitch.net, and unfortunately it's not 100% compatible with Pattern Keeper, so it doesn't create a mock-up, and you can't search the symbols or anything like that. I had to overlay the grid on each and every page of this pattern, which there's like 76 pages, so that took a while. But I don't have a mock-up that I can show on this one, but I can show you the sorry for the glare. So that's Boudreau. He unfortunately passed a couple of months ago. This was my friend's dog, and they don't know I'm stitching this. His wife had posted the picture on Facebook, and I snagged it and created the cross stitch as a memorial for him, because that was his buddy. And I have a semi-goal. It would be great if I could get it done by his memorial next year, but that'd be like 1,100 stitches a day, and there's no way. Even Christmas is probably pushing it, because that's still like 900 stitches a day. Yes, I stitched 17,000 last month, but again, I don't think I can keep that pace up. But I did get, in the last, I don't know, 13, 14 days, whatever it's been, 4,593 stitches since last time. Hopefully that fits okay and you can see that. So I've just still been working my diagonals. With it not being super compatible on Pattern Keeper, I do have to visually search for each of the symbols. So doing it in a 10 by 10 square, I feel like ensures that I will miss a lot less ninja stitches if I do it that way. But I got a total now of 23,220 because I don't work in pages, but that is 6.97%. I think I would like to have a goal of 10% by the end of May. Although, to be fair, I have no earthly clue how many stitches a percentage is on this pattern. So, but that's the table now in the picture is much clearer. I'm still a little concerned that because of the shadowing, it's still mostly blue. This is his ear, and it's still a blue ear. Now, I'm really trying to trust the pattern, you guys. But it's making me nervous how much blue I'm still seeing in this poor puppy. And I think that's the end of the window that I've reached and is starting in on the curtain. So I'm really excited about that one. But like I said, I'm not as hyper-focused on that anymore, which is good. And that is the progress that I've gotten so far. And while I was stitching on Veil Nebula, that was during a Zoom call with Darren, the Dizzy Stitcher, and he was kind of making fun of me a little bit because I say, oh, this is going to be a shorter video, and then it's still like an hour long. I've just given up. I just make long videos because I ramble. But I'm also feel like I'm cursing his Zoom meetings because it's only like me and 2 other people and Darren that ever show up. Now, to be fair, we were gonna have another gal, but she was having some issues getting her little kiddo to settle down for the night because Mom was gonna have an exciting meeting and she wanted to be part of that too. You know who you are. We missed you. So, but it was fun. I was feeling kind of quiet that night, so keeping up conversation was a little tougher for me this time, but I still had a lot of fun. So assuming I don't keep cursing his Zoom calls with nobody showing up, I will be doing that again next month. Okay, so talked about plans. Oh, some other Stitchy kindness. I'll go into that next. I don't have any haul. I have a little bit of haul. I'll tell you about that first because that's easy. So I use these silicone floss holders, and they come in 2 sizes. So this is the ones I've had, and these are the medium-sized ones. But as you can see, I don't know if you saw, I just wind it up and flip it closed, and it holds my, these are the threads that I'm not going to get to until I scroll the picture. But our supplier for our hammock business has these stocked on his website and lists them as cord winders for like your tent cords. There's guy outlines for tarps that go over the hammocks, and you can wind them up and store them like that. Well, I'm like, nah, man, that's for floss. I don't know what you're doing. But these are only like 75 cents a pop, and they're plenty big enough for floss. So I'll link his site below to the cord winders, as he calls them, if you're interested and would like to get a hold of some. The medium-sized ones are $1. So if you have like a lot of floss that's getting parked and, you know, maybe not gonna fit on the small one, you can use the big one. So there's that. Let's see. Okay, so I had another gal reach out to me, Devi. She had actually won one of my giveaways a while ago, and we've chatted back and forth a little bit on Instagram between even before then and after. And she had noticed that I was really starting to get into the Q-snaps. I'm finding that while I need a larger margin, I'm much less annoyed with switching out projects, and I don't feel like I have to have a Q-snap for every project. That being said, she's found that she doesn't care for them and offered to send me some. And I was like, well, what do you use? Maybe we could do an exchange. So she sent me one 8x8 and one 11x11. And I like to mix them up and do the 8x11s. I'm using one on spring and one on, they're both being used already. And I sent her some hoops. So hopefully, if she has not gotten those yet, Debbie, you should be getting those in the next few days. Because my husband finally went to the post office. But she also sent me some little goodies. She sent me a little card, but it's stitched. It's like quilted with the postcard on this side, and I just thought that was the cutest thing. And then she also made me like a zipper charm, or it's got a little clasp here on top, and then it's stitched around and has a little crocheted heart. But isn't that super cute? So I'm gonna put those on my bags. And this one's just got a little dangly charm and a sticker. Very appropriate. Springtime, because spring is my absolute favorite season of the year. So thank you for those, Debbie. I appreciate it. And again, thank you for doing the exchange, because that was actually really fun. And then notes. I have notes. Okay, so then I had Suki, the brown-eyed stitcher. I've mentioned her before on my channel. Go watch her if you haven't already. I love her channel. I love her projects, and I love her personality. She's my Stitchy twin. I have a few Stitchy twins now, and she's my original Stitchy twin. But she reached out to me with a pattern that, you know, she said just kind of reminded her of me, blah, blah, blah. And it was, I exited out of that before I should have. And it was, hang on, I haven't imported it yet. Hopefully it's on my drive and I can see it. You know what? Just kidding. I'll just insert a picture. I'll have to do some editing. It's this one. It's Canopy Heart by Dakota Detweiler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And she said, oh, we should stitch this together. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, we should. I'm not doing any new charts this year. And she said, I'll buy it for you. And I'm like, oh, you don't have to do that. You really don't have to do that. But how about I have a crap ton of fabric, and she likes 28 count too. How about I send you the fabric for it? So she sent me the chart, I'm sending her the fabric, and I love doing this kind of exchange. So much fun. So I have the chart, I haven't imported it into Pattern Keeper yet. I'm sending her, Suki, it might be next week before you get your stuff. I haven't decided if I want to do the fiddling that I was talking about with the bag. So that should be on its way though very soon. So that, I think that will probably be a June start, maybe. I told Suki I wasn't going to start it until she was ready. So once she has her materials and stuff, then we will get that going. Oh, bags. A few of you did mention a little bit of disappointment that I did not show my bags in my last video. I have decided, turn my thing off. Okay. I have decided that I will make a Flosstube extra video for those. There is enough changes, tweaks, extras that makes my bags different enough that I want to give them a video to show how they work. Yes, I have to show you how my bags work. It's not just any bag. And I'm not quite ready for that. I'm still fiddling with measurements, fiddling with hardware, but I feel like they deserve their own, especially if, you know, people that maybe aren't interested, which is totally fine, totally understand. But for those of you who are interested in, again, I've said this before, please don't take this as a pushy sales thing. Yes, I'm going to be selling bags. Under no circumstances do I ever feel, I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're obligated to buy a bag from me. I almost feel like in my head, I'm telling my friends about it and then want everybody else to go buy them. Not that I don't want my friends to buy them, but I don't want my friends to feel like they have to buy one just because they're my friend. And I feel like all of you guys that watch my channel are my friends. So that goes for you too. I don't want you to ever feel like, again, that you have to buy something for me just because I show it. No. I'm just really excited about it, and I know people are interested in it. That being said, I am a little bit torn on the Etsy thing. There has been some hubbub. There was kind of a boycott, blackout, close your shop if you have an Etsy shop if you can. Don't buy for a week because the fees have kind of gone up. I obviously don't have an Etsy store yet. I may not open one. I actually purchased a elizabethanncanstitch.com for the domain, so I own that. I have a Wix account, which is basically a website hosting platform that we use for our home business, but it basically does require you to build your own website. So I have to make time for that. So I'm still probably a little ways away from being ready to sell the bags. I do have several people who have contacted me directly and done some requests. I'm not going to encourage that because that's kind of how we started operating our business, the hammock business, and that has really I just dug out of a 2-year hole with that business. I don't think I want to do that with bags. I don't want to make promises that I may not be able to keep, especially with my home business or our hammock business being my priority. So it will be up when it's up. They will be sold when I'm ready to sell. And please just be patient with me. That being said, I am a little jealous at the moment of my design. The actual pattern of the bag itself is not my design. I actually learned from the tutorial that elizabethanncanstitch on her channel for her vinyl bags. That's the template that I'm using. I did contact her and, asked her about how she would feel if I sold the bags. She's like, that's fine. It's not my design either. I just did a tutorial on it. But the stuff that I have done to the bag to make it my own, I don't necessarily want to throw it out there until I'm actually ready to start selling them. So it may be a little while before I'm actually ready with that that extra for the bags. That was a whole long spiel just to say it's not going to be out for a while, guys. Lord. Okay, that does it for Stitchy stuff. Yes. Because plans, we know I'm just gonna start all the things, and I think I'm decided to do kits because I really don't think I'm gonna have guilt if I put them away and don't touch them for another year and just bring them out every May. That's okay with me. So we'll see. It'll be fun, I think, for me to see how much progress I can get in a day. Obviously, the hammock business comes first. That's my day job. That has to be done and prioritized. But once I'm done for the day, we don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. Very, very rarely. Social. So, except when it comes to cross stitching. And this November, Stitching in the Springs is happening again. There have been a couple of folks that I've reached out to and said, you should come. Well, you should come. All of you. Okay, just kidding. It's not really that big. It's probably comfortably holds 50 to 80 people. I'm not a huge judge of character or judge of spatial happenings when it comes to that. But it's a 28-room hotel in Yellow Springs, Ohio, which is very local to me. And the retreat is the first weekend of November, so like the 5th, 6th-ish, somewhere in there. I'll put the link to them down below. If you are relatively local, you should totally check it out. I would love to meet more of my subscribers and have more interaction on a one-on-one basis with you. So I know there is a couple definitely one of my viewers from Canada is coming down. She's registered. She's ready to go. We might have a girls' night before we head out to the tree. I'm really excited. Suki, are you coming? I want you to come. And I know there was another gal in south of me. I think she had reached out asking about it. So hopefully she's going to come. Ooh, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I'm so sorry. But I hope you're registered too. And anyways, but yeah, Yellow Springs, Ohio, Stitching the Springs. I'll put the link down below if you're interested. Definitely check it out. So, and then that being said, there is a Stitch North retreat up in the Great White North, Ontario, Toronto. Is it north of Toronto? Kaylee, Kristen, I can't remember where exactly. We've talked about it. It's 6.5 hours away. I know how far I have to drive to get to it. But thanks to a friend of mine, she was an angel and made it possible for me to register before it filled up, because boy, it filled up really fast once she announced it. I'm not super familiar with the gal that runs it, so I apologize for my ignorance with that. I'm sure most of you are going to be like, that's like, yeah, we've heard of Stitch North. I hadn't. So, but I'm registered, and I'm going the April weekend next year. I have to get my passport, but I'm also taking a trip to Japan with my oldest for Girl Scouts next June. So I have to have my passport anyway, and that's just going to help like spur me to get it done. So that, I'm really looking forward to that. I think Man Darcy may be going to that. Rumor has it. I have not heard that from the horse's mouth, but somebody did say he was coming. So I'm excited that if he will be there, that I'll be able to maybe meet him as well. Okay, now I think, look what I did. Can it be heart? Ha, I've already got my fabric cut. I've started gridding it. I'm not going to grid more of that until I get more stitch on it, until I actually get stitching, because I'm boring. I'm boring to grid. But I have to have it. It saves me. I can't not have grids. Okay, I lied. My samplers don't have gridding. But when it comes to like super full coverage, that's a thing that I have to do. Yes, that is, okay, I think that is actually it. I did have my sleep study, which it is, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning right now. That's actually on purpose this week. My husband wants to drive overnight. By the way, we're moving right into life updates, guys. So if you are done and out for having no more Stitchy talk, thank you so much for coming in and joining me. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you come back next time I come on, and yeah, I really appreciate you, so thank you. For those of you sticking around for the chit chatty, I appreciate you too for putting up with my blah 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 blah. But yeah, before last video, that had been, you know, the talk of my videos is how stupid late it was every time I record. I had actually gotten to the point where I was a relatively consistently day walking. I was getting up between 11 and noon, which is really good for me. And going to bed 2 o'clock-ish, midnight, depending. But what I was finding is that even if I got 8 hours of sleep going to bed at midnight, I was still really, really tired by like 8 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock even. I was falling asleep in my chair. Did not like that. But my husband, for our business trip this weekend, wants to drive overnight. Excuse me. Because we have to take our little guy with us. And he gets horribly, horribly car sick. Like, we have a kit in the car now that has all the things we need to clean him in the car should his medicine wear off. So we figured it would be easier if we just drove while he's sleeping. You know, we'll give him his Dramamine that does make him a little bit sleepy anyways. And then at night, hopefully he'll just sleep through the whole car ride, because it's about a 6.5-hour drive to get where we're going for there too. It's in Pennsylvania. My husband does not need to try and drive overnight. I'm the night owl. So I've just been staying up on third shift because I'm going to be driving. But that being said, I did have the sleep study last week. I'll put a picture in here of me all hooked up to the craziness. How in the world do they expect you to sleep in that getup? Please share, because they hooked me up about 9 o'clock-ish when it was between 9 and 9:30. And then once I got, all hooked up and everything, I actually took some stitching with me, which I don't think I've ever shown you my travel project. Eventually, someday that will come out and I will show you. But I worked on my travel project for about an hour till about 11. And I was like, okay, I'm not super sleepy, but I really need to try and get some sleep so that they can actually get some readings. And I laid there and I tossed and turned. And finally it was 11:40. It was not a stupid long time, but I wanted to also go to sleep because they wake you up at like 5:30 in the morning to be done with the test. And so I took a Benadryl. I took 2 Benadryl. And that worked. I was out. But the next thing I know, she's waking me up. And I'm going, I must have slept. But boy, it was the sleep of the drugged. And she said that that's fine, that they can still get the kind of readings that they need, even when you're in that kind of state, which I don't understand. But anyways, I have my follow-up appointment scheduled for the 9th of May. So hopefully I'll have an update for you when I record next. Fingers crossed. I have a feeling they're going to tell me it's literally all in my head. That there's nothing wrong with me. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to sleep fine at night. And I don't know. We'll go from there. I'm obviously this kind of weight for those results is not as bad as the last one. But I'm really kind of wanting some answers at this point of why, when I do sleep at night, I'm tired, super tired in the morning. Not the morning, but I don't know. I just don't feel right if I don't stay up late, if that makes sense. Let's see. Oh, I had talked a couple of videos ago about how my 4-year-old had not been potty trained yet, and that I was going to, it was time. He was just one of those kids that just refused. So we finally said, all right, look, there's no more diapers at the store. Surprisingly, they still make night pants, but not day diapers. And it went so well. I'm so proud of him. Probably it helped that he is as old as he is, which, I loved the stories that some of you guys shared with me. Was amazing and awesome and definitely made me feel like I was not the only parent in the world that had ever waited forever to train their kid. But we had 2 or 3 days of extra laundry, and that was it. By the 3rd day, he was taking himself into the bathroom, going, I'm going to go potty, and doing his business and flushing and washing his hands. He was done. We have had a couple of accidents here and there, but even like number 2 training went exceptionally well. My middle son, I had 3 biological kids and 2 stepkids. 2 from my previous marriage. My husband has 2 from his previous marriage. And then we have our little guy together. And I did not potty train my older 2. My ex-husband did. And my middle son had to be bribed with a Batman cake before he would go number 2 in the potty. My little guy, he was like, no, I got this. I'm good. I'm going to do that too. Well, okay then. Make me feel like I actually know what I'm doing. Because this kid, like, half potty trained himself. So that went really well. Again, he's waking up dry in the mornings. So I realistically could probably ditch the night pants too. But I'm super nervous because I had issues growing up with that. John's older boys had some issues with nocturnal issues, wetting the bed and stuff. So I'm just a little nervous. I don't necessarily want to take him out because I'm kind of a lazy parent when it comes to cleaning, and I really don't want to clean that up and do lots of laundry because the bed's all messed up. Yeah, poor little guy. He woke up with this cold as well. He was having some trouble going to sleep tonight. My throat, like I said, is raw. But I love you guys, and I wanted to record before it got stupid out of hand again. So, all right, well, here we are at my magic hour mark, as per usual. I will go ahead and... I feel like I'm forgetting something. There's always something that we forget when we're done recording. Oh, on a side kindness note, it wasn't Stitchy kindness, but it was kindness. One of the gals that I, once a month, I have a Stitchy date with a few of the ladies that I met at the retreat last year. And one of the ladies had mentioned she was wanting to get rid of her piano. And I was like, oh man, I've always wanted a piano. That would be so awesome. And she was like, if you can get it to your house, or if you have room in your house, you can have it. Are you kidding me right now? So we take a truck and we go to her house, and I was vastly unprepared for how awkward and yeah, we needed professionals to move that. So the first time around was a bust. But my husband okayed, once we got our tax return, for me to hire movers for the piano. So I scheduled it and made sure, obviously coordinated with her when was good to get this piano over. And that happened this past Monday. So I have a piano now, and she paid for most of the move before, because it was a pay on receipt of piano to the destination, just in case something happens, and they have to do an insurance claim or whatever. And they got there and they were like, yeah, most of it's already taken care of. So I called her and I messaged her and was like, you do not have to do that. That was not part. She's like, I was just so happy to get it out of my house and not go to a dump. So you're welcome. Thank you. I don't think she watches my YouTube channel, but that was just an amazing, again, I feel very spoiled, and I feel like I have a lot of guilt actually for the kindness that has been shown to me the past few weeks, because I, on some level, kind of feel like I don't deserve it. I'm just me, and I want to do lots of things for everybody else, and I can't do all the things for everybody else, but yeah, like I said, I feel very blessed and very spoiled right now. So I'm going to, I've never played piano really. My grandmother had one, my aunt had one, my cousin plays beautifully. But I'm going to do the self-teach app on the phone or the tablet or whatever. My little one, he is so excited. Mama, will you teach me the piano? I want to play the piano. So I think we're gonna try and kind of learn together, and I don't ever expect to do recitals, but it'll be fun to try and learn. So okay, that being said, I think I am finally actually done yapping, flapping my gums at you. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to enjoy your journey, because it is definitely about this in-between time with you, and not just the destination. So take care, guys. Love you all. Bye-bye.